Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Andrea and this is Beauty with Andy. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today we're going to tackle my eyeshadow palette collection, which is the bigger palettes. I did the smaller palettes yesterday, so I did a lot of swatches yesterday. What I'm going to do today is just show you the palettes and not swatch anything because it was over an hour long. And again, if you've watched it, I really do appreciate your time and support in doing that. It really does mean a lot to me. So guys, let's head over to the drawers. I'll show you an overview of what's in the drawers and then we'll go to the vanity. I'll take a few out at a time and I'll talk a little bit about them, but there'll be no swatches, I'm afraid. So yeah, let's just head over there. Okay, so I'm just going to give you an overview. Yesterday we went through all of these here. So these are where I keep my smaller eyeshadow palettes, just because I don't want them to get lost. So now we're going to go into the last two drawers down here, of where I keep my bigger eyeshadow palettes. Right, so we've got Makeup Revolution here, and then we've just got random ones here. We're going to start in this drawer first. And then the bottom one looks like this. So there is quite a lot to go through. I do want to make some room. I have got some newer palettes, and then over here is where I keep my more high-end palettes, and there are a few new ones in here, but there are a couple that I'm thinking about decluttering. Excuse the mess, I should have tidied that up, that's really disgusting. So yeah, just excuse that. So yeah, we're going to be going through all these probably at the end of the video as well. So I have done what's in this eyeshadow palette holder. So I will put this on the video so you can see it, but you're going to see it anyway, because I'm going to include it in this video. Anyway, I don't want it to be really long, guys, so we're just going to crack into it now, and I'm going to show you the palettes. So we're going to start off in this one. So you've got all these along here, and then the Makeup Revolution ones along here, and then there's some at the back here. I don't think I'm getting rid of them. I think there's just the Essence face palettes. That one might be going. Let's put that there. Right, so this here I'm not even going to tackle. It's just basically this and this. So it might take a while, so let's just crack into it. I'm going to put you back on the tripod because it's quite shaky, and we'll have a look at what I've got. Right, so here are just a few of my Makeup Revolutions. So all these ones here are the Reloadeds. Then we've got some like by influencers. I don't know what to tackle first. Let's do the Reloadeds. This one here on top isn't a Reloaded palette. Right, I don't know where it cut off. I was just saying I've got some influencer palettes here from the likes of Tammy, Kami, Soph and Imagination. So we'll go through them in a second. But what we're going to be doing now, I don't feel like I'm in frame at all. That might be a bit better. What I'm going to be doing now is going through these. So these are the Reloaded palettes apart from this one here. So we've got the Revolution Professional Eyeshadow Palette, Neutrals versus Neutrals, which it looks like that, and I really do like this one, but it looks like it's getting old. Right, I'm going to keep it. I mean, last time I used it, it blended out fine and everything. I like it for these like kind of rose tones here. And even these have got taupes in. I didn't like them at the time, but it looks really nice now, and I definitely want to keep it. I might get a new one of these. It's not that expensive. And as I said, this one's on the older side. So if I do get a new one, I'll declutter it. Right, so we've got the Revolution Visionary palette, and this is a gorgeous purple palette, so I definitely want to keep it. It's got some nice cooler tones in it. Well, of course it does, you know, it's a cool tone palette, but yeah, it's really pretty, so let's keep that one. Then we have the Revolution Reloaded in Velvet Rose. Absolutely adore this one as well. Stunning. So I'm going to keep that. These palettes are so worth the money. They're like £5 or something. When I got mine they were £4, but Revolution, I've since noticed that people do love them and I've put the price up. £1's nothing now, is it? This one is a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette, and I would like the Subculture palette just to kind of compare them. If I see it in TK Maxx again, I think I'll buy it just to do that comparison video. But yeah, I absolutely love that, especially this shade and this shade and the greens as well. It's just a really pretty palette. So all these are being kept, by the way. Then I've got this one. This one is one of the newer palettes. I do really like it. It's mainly though all shimmers. Well, it is all shimmers. Apart from this one and this one, all the rest are shimmers. That's a beautiful forest green shade. Really like that. Keeping. Then we've got this one here. So this one is the Revolution Reloaded Provocative, and I think this one can go, just because I don't tend to wear like the more burgundy shades, and I've got some shades like that in a different palette which is coming up, so that one can get passed on to my niece. I'll sanitize it. Then we've got this Revolution Reloaded Affection palette. I think this one can get passed on to her as well. Yeah, I'll pass this one on to my niece as well. So that's 2. Then we've got this Revolution Reloaded Neutrals 2. I don't wear these kind of like really burnt orange shades either, so she can have that. Then the last one from the Revolution Reloaded I really like this one. It's just full of blues and greens. This green is absolutely stunning. I said I wasn't going to swatch, but I won't swatch them all. I'll just swatch this a couple of times and show you. So that's it there. It does remind me of a shade out of the Huda Beauty Emerald Obsessions, which I'll go through this later. But it reminds me of that shade a little bit. I'm not going to do a comparison, but maybe further down the line I will. Otherwise it will take the video really long. So far I've got rid of 3 palettes. So yeah, we got rid of 3. I'm just wondering now about this one, this provocative one. Will I wear those shades? I know for a fact I'd wear the dusty rose shades, but I don't think I'd dip into it just for those shades. I'm sure I've got them in other palettes and my niece would make more use out of it. Let's go through the influencers ones now then. So we've got the Revolution and Tammy Clark one. This one was the first one that she brought out. She's since brought another 2 palettes out. So that's what this one looks like. And you can just see it's barely had any use. So I'm going to pass this on to my niece and see if she can put a dent in it, which I'm sure she will. They are pretty dark colours for a 10-year-old, but I'm sure she'd love to play with it. And I have shown her mum what it looks like, and she said it was okay for me to pass it on. Right, the next one is this Revolution and Climby palette, and part of me wanted to keep this palette for this highlighter. It's absolutely stunning. It's like a duochrome. I don't know whether to keep it. I was going to give it to her, but no, I don't need it. Not for one shade. I'm gonna pass it on to her. If I miss it that much, I'll buy it at a later date. Then we've got this Revolution and Imagination, the eyeshadow palette. Barely used it, guys. I've used it a few times for a video. It's real pretty. You're not really seeing what I'm doing, are you? It's really pretty. But yeah, I think she'd really enjoy it. So let's, how many have I got now? Is it 6? I'm not doing too bad, so we've got 6 there that she can have. Got a lot of sanitising to do. Right, I'm just going to go and get some more palettes. Right, so I'm going to show you the Revolution chocolate bars now I've got up. So this one is the peanut butter cup. This one isn't going anywhere, it's new to the collection and it's great for autumn. Yeah, it's really great for autumn. Really love it, so that's staying. Then we've got this one. So this one is the I Heart Makeup Salted Caramel. This potentially could be going somewhere. Either this one's going or the Too Faced Semi Sweet's going. I need to test them against each other. I don't know if I'd pass this on to my niece. It's pretty old at this point, so I only want to give her ones that I know are quite recent. But yeah, I will be thinking about it. So they are very comparable, that one and the Too Faced one, so I need to kind of swatch them against each other and just decide which one I want to keep. So this one is the I Heart Makeup Chocolate and Peaches palette, which looks like that. Again, again, it's a really beautiful palette. At some point I'll have to get a new one, just because I've had it for so long. When I say peaches, it really doesn't have a lot of peach eyeshadows. It's just got that one and that one. But nonetheless, it really is beautiful. Then we've got this like foiled one. So it has lots of foiled eyeshadows in it. So it's the I Heart Makeup Chocolate Rose Gold, which looks like that. I absolutely love this shade here. But yeah, it's a beautiful palette. I think I'm going to keep all of these, maybe with the exception of the I Heart Salted Caramel. This one I think is my favourite out of the lot of them. It's just because of all the yellows, and I love this orange here, and that one's called Citrus. It's just a really beautiful shade. The only one I steer away from really is Delicious, that kind of maroon shade there. But yeah, that's that. Right, so I'm keeping them. Right, and we've just got a few more palettes here to talk about, and then we've done that whole Revolution section. So this one is fairly new to the collection, and it's a dupe for the Huda Beauty New Nude, which you'll see now. So that's what that one looks like. It is really pretty, and I'm just not getting rid of it. I do really like these shades here. They need a lot of building up, but it is a real nice palette. If I get a lot of use out of this, I might just buy the Huda New Nude. The only thing that's putting me off with the Huda New Nude, instead of this like creamy ivory shade, it's got a concealer shade in there, and I don't really like creams with powders. So that is the only thing that's stopping me buying it. And I could have bought it in the sale, the Black Friday sale, but I decided not to. Right, then we've got this. Oh, it looks so dirty. I need to kind of wipe it down a little bit. We've got this I Heart Revolution Tasty. No, it's called the Coffee palette, not the Tasty palette. This one is absolutely beautiful as well. This one is fairly new to the collection, so that one's not going anywhere. Absolutely love every single shade in here. See, I normally keep it in this little box it comes in, just so it won't get dirty, but that's not worked. Right, and then we have got the Revolution and Tammy palette. And I was actually thinking about giving this away to my niece as well. I've only used it once though, for a few videos on YouTube. I think I've only used it once. I can't remember. I know that I've used it for the NHS video, and it's got all these bright shades in it, but a lot of them are patchy. I need to give it like a second chance someday or something like that. This shade here is absolutely gorgeous. This shade is, and this shade is. So I'm going to keep it for now. I can always pass it on to her later on if I really don't like it. Then we've got the Soph palette. So this one was the original that she brought out. Again, it needs a clean. And I got this after I got the Extra Spice. Really love this palette though, guys. It's absolutely beautiful. Especially this blue brown shade here, this shade and this shade. So that's going nowhere. And then this is the kind of, this is the Ultra Spice, is it? No, the Extra Spice, sorry. I absolutely adore this one as well. So like I said, this one was the first one I got. I've not used it that much, so I'm glad I'm doing this kind of declutter. Even if I don't get rid of a lot, it just kind of lets me rotate through my eyeshadows a lot quicker than I would normally. So they're all my Revolution ones, so I'm just going to put them back and then we'll go through the rest of the eyeshadow palettes in that drawer. Okay, so let's go through some W7 ones that I've got. So this is the W7 Wild Eyes. I think this tripod needs to go back a bit. I've not used this apart from in one video, so I can't get rid of it until I've done that. Maybe I will get rid of it in time. It does look a beautiful palette. Really like this shade. That was one of the shades that I used. So we'll keep this for now. And then this Violet Eyes one. Sorry, not Violet Eyes. W7 Violet Lights. I've never used at all. Even though it looks like I have, because I've just been doing some swatches on it. But it looks really powdery. So I might in time get rid of that one as well. The one that I won't be getting rid of is this one. So this is a dupe for the Anastasia Denona Gold palette. It's the W7 24K Gold Rush. I absolutely love this palette. You know, it's absolutely stunning. One day I'm hoping to get the Anastasia Denona, and I could have bought it from Look Fantastic at £77.80 or whatever it was, but I refused to do it, and they were the only place in the UK having the sale. So I just left it. Yes, I'm cutting my nose off to spite my face, but after the trauma that I went through with that company, I'm not going to be buying anything else from there. So yeah, I really like this, and I will be continuing to use it. Then we've got the W7 Total Eclipse, right? So this is where it gets tricky. It's absolutely beautiful, but it's a dupe for that. And do I really need it? I don't feel like I really need both palettes. And I didn't feel like I'd be doing this, because this one is a new palette, just as this one is a new palette. I bought them both relatively around the same time. I'm going to get rid of it, guys. I'm going to get rid of the W7 Total Eclipse. Pass it on to my niece. She would have a field day with that. I know she would. So I'm just going to put that into the palette. I think that needs to be sanitised for her. And then we've got this W7 Socialite Palette. So again, this is a dupe for the Anastasia Denona New Nude. And I feel like this is more of a dupe than the Revolution one that I got, just because it's got those like cream to powder eyeshadows. I don't know if the New Nude, and you can let me know if you've got it, has got like kind of pressed glitters in it, because they're pressed glitters and I don't wear them often, but I have worn them and they do look nice. Definitely keeping this one. So I've got, I don't know, I'm gonna show you, but I've got, let's move it back. I've got 4 of these W7 palettes, and 2 of them could potentially be getting decluttered at a later date. Then I've got this NYX one, and it has the Zoeva, I think it was the rose golden shades. And I'm just looking at it now and I'm just feeling like, do I really want to keep it? I feel like in an upcoming Shop My Stash I'm going to have to pull it out and decide whether I want to keep it. Because you've got like 9 eyeshadows here that could potentially be getting decluttered, and I could put something else in there. The only one I want to keep is this one, just because it's a Makeup Geek one. It's called Beaches and Cream, but that can go back into my Makeup Geek eyeshadow singles. So yeah, that potentially could go. I feel like this one has to go at this point. It's the PS Precious Metals Collection by Primark, but the shade, guys, here is absolutely stunning. I don't want to start like deep panning it, but look at that. Where shall I put it? That is stunning. But I have got so many shades like that, so let's just declutter that. I'm not passing it on to my niece. I'm just gonna declutter that one into the bin. Then we've got this W7 Bear Roll. So it's a dupe for the Huda Beauty Nude. I don't feel like I need this at this point, but my niece would really like it. I do like this shade here, so yeah, I'll pass it on to her. So let's put that in her basket. Then we've got the PS Beauty Exotica. Now I'm not 100% sure I want to keep this either, but I want to test it at least before I get rid of it. I don't just want to get rid of it for the sake of getting rid of it, so we'll keep that one. Then we've got my Zoeva palettes. So we've got the Zoeva Caramel Melange. It's actually not going anywhere. It's just such a beautiful warm toned eyeshadow palette. Then we have got the Rodeo Bell, which again I really enjoy. I love this green here. It's absolutely stunning. This blue one is getting hard pan, I think. It's got a really nice gold shift. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a really nice gold shift. But yeah, that one's staying anyway. And then we've got the Cocoa Blend. I'm sure this one was my second palette that I got from them, and again I want to keep it. I don't really use that shade too much, but the rest of the shades I really enjoy. And then the last palette here is this one. Right, so I've always been conflicted on this. It's always ended up on the chopping block. Never even used it, guys, but it's not for me. I've had it years and I don't feel comfortable passing that on to a 10-year-old. So again, it will be decluttered into the bin. As you can see, it looks brand new. I don't know whether to do a video with it, but I know I'll kind of get these blah vibes that I'm getting at the moment. No, I'm not even going to bother, because I said I was going to make a video last time and I just didn't. So I'm just going to get the last few palettes. Right, okay, so first of all we'll talk about this. This is a recent purchase from Primark. It's the Peachy Palette. Really love this, especially this shade here. So this is going nowhere. I am thinking about getting the Colourpop one, but I'll still keep it even if I've got that one. So that's that one. Then we've got the Technique Pro Finish. I feel like I need to use this again just to see if I do want to keep or declutter it. So that'll be coming up in the upcoming Shop My Stash. And then we've got this Rude Cosmetics Tokyo Metropolis palette, which I actually do really like, so I'll keep it for now. It could get decluttered probably in the spring or summer when I do the next one. Then we've got the So Lush eyeshadow palette, and again I feel the same way as I do about the Rude Cosmetics one. Potentially it could get decluttered, but for now I will keep it. Then we have this one. This one will never ever get decluttered, even if I stop using it or it expires, just because my mum got it for me last year for Christmas, and it's got some beautiful shades in here, and I absolutely love this blush and this highlighter here. So yeah, it's definitely not going anywhere. And who doesn't love Minnie Mouse? Because I for sure do. So yeah, that's a beautiful palette. So that's that one. The next one is this Makeup Obsession Be In Love With. I'm conflicted about this, but the one good thing about this palette, I've said this before, this came up in eyeshadow palettes I regret purchasing, or makeup I regret purchasing, something like that. And a lot of the shades are very lackluster. This one was lackluster, this one was, I think that one was as well. The only one I really liked is this one, but I did really like the mattes. So you can take these ones out. I'd probably need a knife or something, but you can take them out and you can kind of build your own palette. So I might keep it for that reason, and like in time do a video on kind of making my own palette. And it also makes it a good travel palette if you can do that. Right, so that's that. Then the next one is a palette I bought recently. from Primark. It's the Ciate, the Editor palette in the... I absolutely adore this palette. It's absolutely a favourite. It needs cleaning up. While I'm sanitising, I'll probably sanitise this one as well, just to give it a good clean. But yeah, it's absolutely stunning. Right, I'll do the deck of Scarlets last, which I think is all of these. Right, the last one then is this Primark Just Peachy Eyeshadow Palette. So I got this when I wanted to try the Colourpop one, but on Depop they didn't have it, they sold out or something like that. They didn't have any. Now they've got loads on Depop, so I might just get the Colourpop one. There are a few shades in here that I'd like to keep, I think. Was it that shade? I'm sure it was that shade. Yeah, look at that shade. I feel like, you know, that would be a good shade to go in the Makeup Obsession palette. But other than that, there aren't that many shades in here. Where can I put this? That's it there. And it's an older palette. So I'd bought it off Depop and they'd used it. I sanitised it. The smell, I don't like the smell of it. It says I'm so peachy, but it doesn't smell of peach in my opinion. It doesn't smell like the Too Faced products. So yeah, I definitely want to kind of get rid of that. Maybe like depot some of the shades. Right, so now it's coming to Deck of Scarlet. So we've got this one. This is edition number 3. This one looks like that. So we've got a peach shade, which is nice. Don't know what you can see, but it's there on my arm. That blush is quite nice as well. I don't have anything like that in the collection, so I'm going to keep it. Then we've got this one. I absolutely adore this one. So this eyeshadow is my favourite, and then this one is a really nice blush for this time of year. And then we've got this gorgeous highlighter. This one was a collaboration with Kim Tai. So yeah, I want to keep that one. That one was edition number 8. And then I've got this one. This one was the last one that I got. So this one was edition number 11, and it was Kristen Leanne's, and it's absolutely stunning. Look at that bright yellow shade there. I absolutely love it. I don't like these, so maybe in time I could depot these, but the packaging is really, really nice as well, so I don't really want to ruin the packaging. The next one is this one. This is edition number 10. Again, I really like this shade here. Not overly fussed about that one. I feel like this is too dark. It's not actually that dark. No, blended out, it's not that dark, so I need to figure out if I want to, you know, start using that for autumn and winter. This highlighter is horrible. You can see it in the pan there, if the camera will pick it up. It's really, really rough, and it's really, really gritty. And it's not my shade anyway. You can see it's not my shade. Be alright for in a corner, but I don't really use it for that. So the next one is edition number 4. It's got a really nice silver for this time of year, for Christmas. I really like this Pinot Grigio shade. I don't think I've wore that too much. So what I might do then is think about depotting some of them. Like I'm not too bothered about this packaging, so I could depot that shade, and I'm not overly fussed on these two shades here, just to make some room out of where I keep my eyeshadow palettes. Then I've got this one here. So this one is shade edition number 5. And the reason I've kept hold of this one is for that gold there and that bronzer there. Really, really like them. The rest of it I'm not really that fussed over. You can see I've made a huge dip in that. cream ivory shade, but I'm not fussed over that purple. I could probably get that anywhere in the palettes that I've got already, so I could definitely declutter that one and maybe make a face palette and declutter that. That might be something for the future. And then this one was the first ever one that I bought, and it's got purples in it, and purples are more my thing now. I mean, it's got Sophia in it. Oh, that's quite nice, but it's matte. That one there is matte, and I don't know if I'd use it. And they're starting to look a little bit powdery now. It's got a really nice purple blush, so I need to think about that one. I don't know if I want to declutter it just yet. Let me just get these swatches off. And that is all the eyeshadow palettes from the first drawer. So now we're moving down to the second drawer. I don't know if there's quite as many eyeshadow palettes I can get rid of in that second drawer, but let's go and check it out. Right, so let's crack on with the second drawer. Right, so first of all, I've got this BH Cosmetics Carly Bible palette, and I'm not feeling it, guys. I keep saying to myself, leave it in, and you know, you can do a chopping block video, but I'm not actually feeling it. A lot of these like highlighters have dried up completely, you know, just by looking at it. This one was the first edition, and she later brought out another one, and yeah, I'm just going to declutter it into the bin, just because it's so old. So that can be decluttered. Then we've got the BH Cosmetics Royal Affair palette. I really like this one. So this one is staying in the collection. It's got some beautiful shades in it. This was a flop for a lot of people. I got mine from TK Maxx, so I didn't pay full price. I barely do on BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes. I always get them in sales or even from TK Maxx, but I absolutely adore it. Then I've got this one. So this one is Makeup Obsession. I got this when they used to sell Makeup Obsession in Boots, and you could curate your own palette and put your name on it. So it just says Beauty with Andrea, because at the time that's what my channel was called, Beauty with Andrea, and I had to change it because there was so many channels that was either Beauty with Andrea, Beauty by Andrea, and I didn't want my subscribers getting mixed up with other people's channels, so I changed it to Beauty by Andy. So that's just a bit of an insight. Right, so in here we've kind of got a mishmash of things. We've got 3 stunning highlighters that I honestly don't use this often enough, so I need to kind of put it on the chopping block. This is a blush, this peach here, but you can also use it as an eyeshadow. This is the first ever green I got, and then this is a really nice purple shade, so we'll keep that one for now. It could be getting decluttered further down the line. This one is new to the collection. I got this before lockdown, the second one that the UK was in. So this one is the Profusion Violets palette, and I got this one because I couldn't get hold of the Juvia's Place, the violets, but I've since managed to put an order in for that. A girl on Depop is selling it, and it's new and it's genuine, so I want to test both of these palettes against each other when that comes. I've just placed the order today, so it won't come for a while. But yeah, this one looks a really beautiful palette. It was only £3.99. It should have been £7 according to this sticker here. But yeah, it looks really beautiful. I've not used it yet, so that's that. Another palette I've not used yet is the BH Cosmetics Smitten in Switzerland. Absolutely stunning, this palette, guys. I mean, the artwork's stunning on it, and these shades there, it just reminds me of Christmas, to be honest, even though it is it's a Switzerland palette. It reminds me of Christmas just because of the trees and whatnot. And I got this in sale, in the Black Friday sale. I think I paid about £8 for it, maybe not even that. And they're normally about £12 or £14, so I got a good deal on that. Right, so another BH Cosmetics one is this, and I've had this 4 years at this point, and I thought that I might be decluttering this into the bin, but this shade here swatches really, really well. I want to use this soon. It's crumbly, and that's when you can tell. Obviously I've had it a while, but look at that. Look at it. It's so stunning. I feel like they still do this palette, and if they do, I definitely want to try and get it. My only problem is shipping and customs, but it is worth that. It is worth actually paying all that, and this isn't an expensive palette anyway, so customs might not be that much, but it is a beautiful palette. So they did 2 at the time. So they did this one. This one's Warm Stone, and I'm almost sure they did one called Cool Stone. Next up is this Model Zone one, and if it wasn't damaged I would give this to my niece. I've not had it that long, but I'm just going to declutter it into the bin. Then we've got this one. So I don't use this because it's really old. It's the Sephora Sunbleach filter. Really nice. I got this on holiday when I went to Portugal with my mum. They're just really powdery. It's like they've it's like they passed their sell by date. But yeah, it's still that's one of the oranges out of the palette. It's still really pretty. It's just not as pigmented as that one. So what I do with this when I don't have Christmas decorations up is just put it on my shelf and like have it as a display item. So I would never get rid of that one. Right, now it's going to be tricky. Right, so I got this Shanxo palette originally. I did actually buy it from a seller, but some of these eyeshadows are better formula than the newer version, in my opinion anyway. So I don't know whether to keep it for that reason. I obviously don't use the lip glosses just because they're old, but this is the new one. Really nice. So they're like the original eyeshadows, and then these are the newer ones. Now part of me does want to keep this obviously because it's a new one, but then part of me also wants to keep the older one just because some of these shades are more pigmented, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I have done a video on this before. This shade here, this blue brown one, which I absolutely love, is more pigmented in the older version. So I'm just going to quickly swatch that. Right, so that's the one from the older version. It's still really nice and creamy. This one feels more powdery. There's more of a blue brown shift. Can you see it there? Like in the new one, it's not that much of a blue brown shift. And do I need it? Probably not, to be honest. I could just declutter that eyeshadow out of the Shanxo palette and put it in a singles. Right, so that's just one of them. Right, I'm going to try and swatch them all together so you can see what I mean. What other shades was it? I think it was this one, but we'll swatch it in the Shanxo. That one's a better one, I'm sure it was. The formula is just totally off. Can you see how much lighter that one is compared to that one? And then what else did we have? There was this one here in the newer Shanxo, and then that one there. So I'm going to put these here. So that's the old one. And then that's the new one. See, them two look pretty similar, so they're fine. Let's rub them ones out because they're actually fine. And I think it it would have been this one here. So it's all my favourite shades I'm testing, just to see if I need both palettes. So that's really, really pigmented. And then this one here, the ones in the newer palette just feel kind of lackluster. But what do I do, guys? So that's that. I don't know whether to keep them both, but I don't need them both, that's the thing. The ones in the original, I like this one for in a corner. I feel like that, I like that one as well. I like that blue brown. And was this shade, I just need to test that shade as well. Just drain my hand off. So that one is how it looks from the old one. And that one's slightly darker, which I don't actually mind. So that one's not an issue. So there's just like 3 eyeshadows that aren't the same. But my main issue, my main gripe with this new palette is this shade here. It doesn't shift the same way as the one in the older palette does. There just doesn't seem to be any blue brown undertone. I mean, you can really... So that's the old one that I've just swatched. Can you see how they're completely different shades? This one doesn't shift blue brown. I don't need another blue brown. I've got loads, but I do like the formula of the Shanxo one in the old palette. I feel like I'm going to keep this for the time being, and we're going to get kind of a magnetic palette, and I'm going to take that shade out, that shade, and that shade, and then probably declutter the rest and keep the newer version, just because it's also got making a right mess. It's also got these really nice new shades in it, which I can't compare, but the formula definitely isn't the same as the older version. I don't feel it's as good, but that's my opinion. That's the only palette I've had from BH Cosmetics I've not had a good word to say about. I absolutely love BH Cosmetics, so I don't want you to feel like I'm poo-pooing it, which I'm really not, because the new formulas like this palette, for instance, I absolutely love. So yeah, we've got the BH Cosmetics Love in London. Such a stunning palette. It's going nowhere. I absolutely adore it. So although I haven't decluttered anything yet from this drawer, we will get there. It's mainly about showing you my collection. So let's just put them there and I'll just grab some more. Right, so let's talk about cargo. So I've got a couple of cargo palettes, and at one point, I think, no, it wasn't this one, it was the next one that's coming up. So this one is the Cargo Vintage Escape Eye Palette. It's absolutely a stunner. It's great for autumn and winter. It's just really, really nice. So this one is staying. Put that there. This one was going to get decluttered at one point. It's the Cargo Around the World. And it's mainly like satins. I don't have a lot of satins in the collection, and I'm liking cooler toned eyeshadows, so I've decided to keep it. So yeah, keeping that for now. So this one is fairly new to the collection. It's the Wet n Wild and Bretman Rock collab, and it is limited edition. If it wasn't limited edition and it didn't have that nice green in and that nice gold, I would probably be decluttering it. I found the mattes to be quite patchy, to be honest, looking back at the videos, and my overall experience wasn't the best with it. But this green, let me just show you. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. It's really, really nice. So I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't get rid of it for that shade. And I think there was another shade. Yeah, that gold's quite nice. I have got similar golds to that though, but if that wasn't in it, yeah, I would definitely get rid of it. I'm keeping all of it for just one eyeshadow. That gold's actually quite chunky. yeah, it's nice. It's nice and reflective, but it's not as creamy as the green one. So we'll keep the Bretman Rock for a while. I can see myself getting rid of that soon. Then we've got the Essence Witch Side. Now if you've watched these videos, you will know I'm getting rid of this one. I feel like my niece will have so much fun with it. I didn't enjoy it, to be honest, which I was surprised at, because I really do like Essence eyeshadows, especially the newer formulas that they've been coming up with recently, and this is one of their newer formulas. I found these sprinkled shades that are in the palette to be quite hard to work with, and they showed a lot of texture on my eyes, but my 10-year-old niece won't have texture and she won't be bothered anyway if they don't look nice. So yeah, I feel like she'll love this actual palette with the holographic, not holographic, with the actual, I think she'll love the packaging of this palette. Because I do, and it's one of the reasons that I was thinking, do I really need to get rid of it? But I don't need it in my collection, and I'm sure she'd enjoy it. Next up is this Profusion Mixed Metals Glam palette. I got this last Christmas and I absolutely adore it. This is what started me off on Profusion. This shade here, this orange, is stunning. Need to swatch that. Look at it. It's absolutely stunning. That shade just over the lid with, like, I'll show you in a minute, with that buffed into the transition, and then that as a outer V shade, that you're done. You can go out the door. These shades here are absolutely stunning. All these shimmers are, but these shades are the most stunning in the palette. I got it at a really good price. I think I bought it around Black Friday last year as well. So yeah, that's that. Then we've got the e.l.f. Retro Paradise palette. Absolutely stunning palette. It's going nowhere. I love this purple shade here called Disco. And this one is like a duochrome. Just going to swatch it a couple of times. So that's that one there. I mean, look at it. It's a purple, but it's got like a blue silver undertone. It's really, really pretty. I don't have that